Hello everyone, my name is Wendy Warren Grapentine and I am here with you today to talk about a technique for low back pain that I like to call spinal breathing. It's a way of moving energy through your body along your spine by using the breath. And I have found it to be very helpful for my patients who have low back pain. And I'm here today to share it with you in the hopes that it can provide some relief for you as well as part of one of the many tools that we have to offer you here at Group Health Cooperative. So let's get started. As you can see, I'm sitting here in a nice comfortable chair. You can have your hands on the arms, you can have them in your lap, doesn't matter, just being comfortable. My feet are on the ground, so nice and flat on the ground. So do find a chair that you can sit in where you can have full contact with the bottom of your feet on the ground. And also nice support in the back. So I have a big pillow tucked back here behind me so that I have lots of support along my spine. I can sit up nice and straight. Okay, so throughout this, we're going to take probably about 15 minutes to walk through the actual breathing exercise, and then I'll talk to you a little bit at the end to explain a little bit more about some of the concepts, but I will be explaining some as we go along. All right, so you may want your eyes open, you may want them closed. I will be opening and closing mine as we go along here. So finding your feet on the ground, I find it does help to close your eyes, at least in the beginning, just to focus yourself inward and get in touch with what you're feeling in your body. And take a few breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. This in and of itself is a very calming breath. It's a way of letting your body know that you're safe, that everything is okay. And so just breathing in and out, in through the nose, out through the mouth, no particular rhythm, just becoming aware of your breath and starting to become aware of your body in the chair. Let's start at your feet and noticing what your feet feel like. What do they feel like right now? Are you feeling the inside of your socks, the inside of your shoes? Do you have bare feet on the carpet, the hard floor? Just noticing the texture, the pressure, maybe the temperature. Just really bringing your attention down into the bottom of your feet. All right, so we've got this great connection with our feet and the earth. The earth is so big and vast. We can draw upon the energy of the earth and the groundedness of it to help strengthen our own bodies. So we're going to work our way up quickly along our whole body, just noticing what they sometimes call a body scan. So we're going to start at those feet that we've already paid a lot of attention to, and now just notice the other parts of your body that are making contact with the chair, the backs of your legs, maybe your tailbone, certainly your glutes, maybe even your low back. Certainly your mid and upper back are making contact with something. We want you nice and supported. Maybe move those shoulders around, roll them backwards or forwards, twist them and move. Just get yourself comfortable in the chair. Even tilting your pelvis forward and backwards so that you can get a sense of where center is. Okay, nice tall spine. We're trying to make our spine be as in alignment as we can, given, of course, any limitations that you may have because of back pain. Find where you're comfortable. It's most important to be comfortable and as close to having a straight spine as you can. Okay, so we have this nice, wonderful position that hopefully is feeling strong, but also mostly relaxed. And I invite you to take your hands and place them on your knees. We're going to invite the energy up from the earth into our hands. So it helps to have your eyes closed if that's comfortable for you. On that next inhale, feel like you're drawing the energy up into these hands. See if you can imagine the tingle of the energy flowing through your lower legs, Coming up through the bottom of your feet and then hitting your palms as they rest on your knees. Imagining that there's that beautiful reservoir of energy deep in the earth and you're just tapping into it with your feet, drawing it up. With every inhale, you draw that energy up into your knees. And when you feel like you have that, you may need to pause the video until you do. That's okay. It takes a little longer in the beginning. But once you feel like you have that energy, on your next inhale, sliding your hands up your thighs, up towards your hips. So your upper thighs now, you're inviting that energy up into the upper parts of your legs. Paying attention to your pelvis. You may find that you've tilted it forward and sort of tucked your tailbone underneath. We do that as part of the fight, flight, or freeze response, or we tighten up and curl up. It's a protective mechanism. So consciously letting your tailbone drop back, kind of sticking your butt out a little bit, uncurling your tailbone, and then finding that nice, comfortable middle position where it's not flared way back, it's not tucked under, it's just comfortably curled the way it's supposed to be. With every inhale, drawing up that energy, letting it go on the exhale. So now we're going to draw our attention to what we call our root chakra, which is at the base of the spine, right at that tailbone. So you can either leave your hands here on your thighs. You may want to move them up to your hips. You could even place them behind you on your sacrum, the low part of your back. Wherever it feels appropriate to you, it's just a way of drawing your attention toward that root chakra at the base of your spine. So bringing the energy up again through your feet on the inhale. See if you can imagine it hanging out there right around your tailbone. Feels like it starts to spin. There's a swirling sensation. And that swirling sensation continues to grow and fill up your entire pelvic bowl. So I'm moving my hand up here, but it's happening down here in your hips. All right, you can feel that from hip bone to hip bone, forward into your belly button and low belly, into your low back where you may be experiencing that pain. All within there, that's that pelvic bowl. We want to fill it with energy. So every breath you take, bring that energy up. And as you exhale, just imagine it swirling around in there, allowing it to relax and release. Allow your tailbone to uncurl. And on your next inhale, I invite you to bring the energy up now into your low belly. So right below your belly button. And see if you can use your hand, again, like we did on our knees, as an invitation for the energy to come up a little bit higher. It's going to come up a little bit past that pelvic area now, truly into the low back. So again, it might feel good to place the other hand behind you if you have access to that. Not required, just play around and see what feels good to you. Sometimes we need to use our hand placement to focus the energy, our attention, and to invite then in that energy there. So we're bringing the energy up into the low belly. This is what we call the sacral chakra. The root chakra is about safety and stability, family. Low belly is the sacral chakra, which is more about creativity, reproduction, growth. Great, you're doing a nice job. Now bring the energy up on the next inhale, up to what we call solar plexus chakra, which is right here underneath your rib cage, right where your diaphragm sits. It's that spot where if you get hit there, it knocks the wind out of you. You may have had that happen, so you know where that is. But bringing that energy up again, reminding yourself of your feet on the ground, drawing the energy up through the bottom of your feet, into your legs, connecting into the base of your spine and up your spine, up to this point here in the solar plexus chakra. This is about your power, action, moving forward. Again, in through the nose and out through the mouth, drawing that energy up, inviting it with every inhale. Again, imagining that there's this huge reservoir of energy down deep in the earth, and you're just tapping into that, drawing it up. And now moving your hand up to your heart. You may find if you're having a hard time with the energy moving, if it seems to be getting stuck or it feels like it's skipping over, go ahead and leave the last hand in the last position and only move the one hand up to the next point. So this is providing stability, this is providing the invitation. And when you're ready, having both hands up on your heart. Again, feel free to pause the video at any point until you feel like the energy is moving appropriately in your body. When you begin, it will take a little longer, and that's okay. But you will notice this, that as we move along here, the energy starts to move quicker as we move higher. It's less dense as we move up into the higher chakras. And we've also been working on it, so now we're getting some momentum going, right? So we're going to bring it up again now here on this next inhale, up from the bottom of the earth, down deep on the earth through the bottom of our feet, all the way up through heart and into throat chakra. So placing your hand just lightly in front of your throat, maybe placing the other one behind. Play around with what feels good to you. There's no one right way. You're really just noticing and using all of this as an invitation to move the energy along your spine using your breath. One more here at the throat chakra. And now moving up to your forehead, maybe placing your hand on the opposite side in the back of your head. Third eye is here in the middle of the forehead. Continue the breathing, drawing the breath up on the inhale through the bottom of your feet along your spine, up into this space. This third eye is about insight, intuition. Our throat chakra was about our voice, speaking our truth. Heart chakra is about love. And now we're here on third eye. And moving to crown chakra at the top of the head, just right in the center. This is about connecting with all that is. So now really feeling that energy moving from the bottom of your feet, drawing up through the earth, coming up through your legs, tapping into the base of your spine, traveling all the way up to this point at the top of your head. See if you can feel that long line of energy that moves. And on the next exhale, as you bring it up on the inhale. And now exhale that energy out through the crown of your head like a whale spouting water out of its blowhole, allowing that to just come out. And then it sort of comes down like the water would out of a blowhole, showering down in all directions. Imagine the energy going out, showering down and falling back to the earth like rain and going deep into the earth where it refills that reservoir that you keep drawing from. And on that next inhale, drawing it up again, exhaling it out, letting it fall down. And just playing. I'm going slower than you probably are wanting to breathe. That's okay. I'm just showing you the path. You go ahead and do it at your own pace. And what I'm wanting you to get a sense of is this connectedness, this idea of our bodies as these beautiful conduits for energy to flow. It's coming up from the earth, from the groundedness, from the physicalness of the human experience that we're having here on earth, drawing on that wonderful energy of being a human being, and then sending it out, up into the universe, up into the heavens, allowing it to drop back down and gather up again. So you're constantly connecting, like they say, heaven and earth, right? Physical and non-physical, however you like to term that. We're the conduit that gets to connect all of that. And so we're trying to open up this wonderful channel along the spine to allow that energy to flow. So let's take a few more breaths here, really feeling that flow. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Bringing your hands back to your thighs. And maybe now placing those hands wherever you feel the low back pain today. Where does it have your attention? Finding that space, if you have access to it with your hand, placing your hand there, one or more hands, whatever feels appropriate. And again, use that hand as an invitation for the energy to flow more strongly, more deeply to that space that may still be holding on to some restriction, that doesn't quite want to open up to the flow of energy yet. And keep drawing the energy up along that beautiful conduit that we've created, allowing it to flow through you. That just keeps flowing free and easy. And you're using your hand and your attention to take part of that beautiful flow and direct it, focus it in the area where you're having the low back pain. See if you can imagine the breath and the energy that flows with it as filling that space that's causing pain, allowing it to bring light into that dark spot, allowing the blood vessels to open up to allow more blood flow to aid in healing. Directing that energy flow. So you have two things going on at once here. One is that continual flow of the energy. Once you have that flowing, you can kind of just put that in the back of your mind, keep it going, and then draw on some of it to go to that point in your low back that has your attention. And then let's just tell our bodies thank you. Thank you for communicating with us, for letting us know what you need, for drawing our attention to inviting us to do more self-care, to take the time to relax and to release and to invite healing into our bodies and into our lives. So that is the spinal breathing technique. You can do that for as long or as short as you'd like. I think we went almost 20 minutes there. So it doesn't need to necessarily be that long, but when you're first doing it, it does take a little bit longer so that you get familiar with the concepts and you can start to feel it. And once you do this, I invite you to do this practice really on a daily basis if you can. You can do it along with this video again as many times as you'd like, or you can start to just do it on your own. Maybe put on some soft music and use it as a meditation to draw that breath, get used to having that breath flowing through you and guiding it to where you want the healing in your low back. Breath is so, so important, and this whole process of breathing the way that we are is one way to stop that fight, flight, or freeze response that we spend so much of our lives in. In fact, we spend most of our lives in the freeze response, which I've come to believe in my mind-body practice as really one of the major contributing factors to most of the pain that we experience in our bodies, and in particular low back pain. So we freeze because we're under so much stress. And if you understand fight, flight, or freeze, it's our innate response. We can't stop it from happening, but we can try to get it under control, and we can let our bodies know that we're not in danger. But what's interesting is that it was designed for us back in the days of having to fight off saber-toothed tigers, right? So it was literally about staying alive. It is the response that is designed to keep us alive. And so we want to fight or run away, flight, and when we can't do either of those, we freeze. And most of the modern stress is not about fighting off a wild animal. It's about dealing with the stress that we're going through in our day-to-day lives that come from relationships and work and money and all of the things that cause stress for us that we can't run away from and we can't really fight. So we go into this freeze mode and we hold everything into our bodies. And that's where we get congestion. And it's interesting and fascinating to see how blood flow will actually be reduced sometimes in areas of our body because of stress. So it's not the whole answer, but it's part of the answer. And if you take the time to do the spinal breathing, along with the other techniques and treatments that have been provided for you here through Group Health, I really have found it to be helpful for my patients to incorporate something like the spinal breathing as a way to calm down that parasympathetic nervous system so that you can relax and regenerate your body. And help you, obviously, then regenerating with the healing of your body and that low back pain. So thank you for spending some time with me today. I hope this is a tool that you can add to your toolbox when it comes to working with the low back pain journey. It is a journey, but it is one that you can work your way through. I have full confidence that you can, and you have access to a wonderful set of tools and experts here at Group Health Cooperative, and we are so pleased to be a part of your experience. Have a wonderful day.